You know that feeling when you're staring at your pricing page and something just feels off? Like you've built something real, something valuable, but the numbers at the end of the month don't reflect any of that? You're working harder than ever, you're showing up, and yet the revenue just sits there, flat, stubborn, like it's mocking everything you've put in. That feeling is more common than you think. And what's wild is that the problem almost never has anything to do with how hard you're working. I want to tell you about a shift. One single change to a pricing structure that took a business from struggling to survive month to month to doubling its monthly revenue, not in a year, not after a major rebrand or a viral moment, just from rethinking one thing that most people never even question. But before we get into exactly how it happened, I need you to understand something first. The reason most people never make this shift is because they're too close to the problem to see it clearly. And if you've been running your business for more than 6 months without seeing the growth you expected, what I'm about to share could genuinely change everything for you. There's actually a program linked in the description below that goes much deeper into this kind of strategic thinking. If you're serious about your business, don't wait to check that out. The people who tend to ignore resources like that are usually the same ones still in the same place 6 months from now. But let's keep going, because the story matters. Picture this. Every month starts with hope. You look at your calendar, you look at your pipeline, and you tell yourself this is going to be the month. You have conversations with potential clients. Some of them seem excited. You send over your pricing, and then silence. Or worse, they come back and say they need to think about it. And you wait. And nothing happens. Meanwhile, your expenses don't stop. Your rent doesn't pause. Your subscriptions keep charging. And at the end of the month, you find yourself doing the mental math again, calculating how close you cut it, feeling that knot in your stomach that you've learned to just live with. That knot has a name. It's called pricing anxiety. And it's not just about money. It's about self-worth. Because when people don't buy, you start wondering if it's you, if your offer is good enough, if you're good enough. And that spiral is exhausting. Here's what nobody tells you about that feeling. It often has nothing to do with the quality of your work. It has everything to do with how your work is positioned and presented financially. The way you present your price is sending signals to your potential clients before they've even had a chance to evaluate whether they want to work with you. And most of those signals are the wrong ones. Now let me paint you a picture of what actually happened in this business transformation. The business was offering services, good services, real value, the kind of work that genuinely helped the people who received it. But the pricing was set up the old-fashioned way. A flat rate, one number. Here's what it costs, take it or leave it. And most people were leaving it, not because it was too expensive, not because the quality wasn't there, but because of how the human brain processes financial decisions. When you hand someone a single number with no context, no structure, no frame of reference, their brain immediately jumps to loss. They think about everything they're giving up rather than everything they're gaining. It's called loss aversion, and it's one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. The brain weights the pain of losing money at roughly twice the intensity of the pleasure of gaining value. So every time a flat price was presented, the client's brain was calculating risk, not reward. The change that happened was simple on the surface but profound in its impact. The pricing structure shifted from a flat rate to a tiered value-based model. 3 clear options, each one anchored to a specific transformation, not just a list of deliverables, not just features, not just hours, but outcomes. And here's where it gets interesting. The lowest option was priced just below the original flat rate. The middle option was priced at roughly 1.5 times the original, and the top option was priced at twice the original. The same core service was at the heart of all 3, but each tier was framed around a different depth of result. Within the first month of making this change, something remarkable happened. Most clients were choosing the middle option, not because it was recommended, not because of any pressure, but because of a psychological phenomenon called the center stage effect. When people are given 3 choices, they almost always gravitate toward the middle one. It feels safe, it feels reasonable, it feels like the balanced decision. The average transaction value jumped by about 60% almost immediately, but wait, it gets more dramatic than that. Something unexpected happened with the top tier. A small but significant number of clients started choosing it. Not because they were pushed toward it, but because having it there made them feel like they had real options, like they were being treated as someone who could make a meaningful choice rather than just take or leave a single number. And those top-tier clients became the highest satisfaction clients too, because when people invest more, they engage more, they show up more, they get better results, so the revenue doubled. But so did the quality of the client relationships, so did the testimonials, so did the referrals. And here's the part that really hits differently. The owner of this business had been operating under a belief that lowering prices was the path to getting more clients, that maybe they were just priced too high, that if they could just make it more affordable, more people would say yes. That belief was costing them tens of thousands of dollars every single month, because cheap pricing doesn't build trust, it erodes it. When something is priced too low, the human brain interprets it as low value, even subconsciously. Even when the work is exceptional, price is perceived as a signal of quality, and when that signal is weak, the sale is weak. I want you to sit with that for a second because I know it might feel counterintuitive. You might be sitting there thinking that if you just lowered your prices, you'd get more people through the door. Some businesses do try that, and they end up burning themselves out serving clients who don't respect the work, don't implement anything, and don't get results. And then those clients don't even stick around to give referrals. The businesses that thrive long-term are the ones that charge in alignment with the transformation they create, not in alignment with their fear of being rejected. Let's talk about the cost of not making this change, because this is where I need you to really feel something. Every month you spend underpricing your work is a month where you're trading your energy, your expertise, your time for less than it's worth. And over a year, over 2 years, the gap between what you earned and what you could have earned becomes devastating. People talk about lost opportunities in abstract terms, but let me make it concrete. If your monthly revenue is $5,000 and a single pricing restructure could double that to $10,000, that's $60,000 in a year that's sitting on the table uncollected. That's a year of your life working exactly as hard as you're working right now and walking away with half of what you deserved. That's not a pricing problem anymore. That's a life problem. That's the vacation you didn't take, the stress you carried home, the conversations you had with yourself at 2 a.m. wondering if this was all worth it. It is worth it, but only when you stop leaving that money on the table. Now let's talk about the mechanics of making this shift in your own business, because understanding the concept is one thing. Actually doing it is where most people freeze. The first thing you need to do is stop thinking about your pricing in terms of what you do, and start thinking about it in terms of what changes for someone after they work with you. This is the foundation of value-based pricing. If you help someone save 10 hours a week through your work, that 10 hours has a dollar value to them. If you help a business increase their revenue, there is a direct return on the investment they make with you. Your price should reflect that return. The second thing is to build your tiers around depth of transformation, not quantity of deliverables. Don't offer more tasks at higher price points. Offer deeper results. Offer greater certainty of outcome. Offer more of your attention and expertise where it matters most. The third thing is to present your options with confidence, not apology. One of the biggest mistakes people make when presenting new pricing is they brace for rejection. You can hear it in how they explain themselves. All that nervous energy around the numbers. When you present your pricing like it's a gift, like you're offering someone the opportunity to change something real in their life or business, the energy is completely different. Clients feel that energy, and they respond to it. The businesses that implemented this kind of structured, outcome-anchored pricing approach are the ones that consistently report not just higher revenue, but higher client satisfaction, more repeat business, and stronger word of mouth. This is not theoretical. This is documented, observed, and repeatable. And here's the part where I want to be completely honest with you. Knowing this information matters. But knowledge without implementation is just entertainment. And the gap between understanding something intellectually and actually building it into your business is exactly where most people stay stuck forever. If you're ready to stop staying stuck, the program in the description below is built specifically for people who are serious about making this kind of structural change in their business, not tomorrow. Now, the people who act on something like this quickly are statistically the ones who see results quickly. The ones who bookmark it and say they'll get to it later are statistically the ones still watching videos like this 2 years from now, still hoping something changes. You already know which one you want to be. The link is right there waiting for you.